Hi friends, Sabrina here. I'm currently sitting in my studio and figuring out what to say. I am a big believer in speaking from the heart and speaking authentically. So sometimes like when I have something planned for, say, next week or the week after, when I go to record it doesn't feel right, even though like in the moment last week it did feel right to say. When it actually comes for when I need to create my content, it's like, no, I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about something else. So I digress. Here we are. I wanted to talk about the last year of bodybuilding and how much it has changed my life. And not just my bodybuilding life, but also truly my life and how many things that I've learned from it. It's been insane. So straight up, I want to come on here and say this because I am switching coaches. I am no longer with the coach that I was with, and he has helped me a tremendous amount. And I'm tapping on my heart because I truly believe that no other coach would have been able to help me the way that he helped me. And he has helped really open up my eyes, first of all, to the bodybuilding world, because I am a baby when it comes to bodybuilding. I don't know anything about the industry. This is my first year as being a bodybuilder and figuring out what it means to be truly a wellness bodybuilder. And I could not be more grateful for this coach as my first step into the world. I really couldn't. And I know a lot of people have really terrible experiences with their first coach, and that was not the case with me whatsoever. So I truly am grateful for all the knowledge that he's giving me, especially when it comes to behavioral knowledge, hormonal knowledge, gut health, and just overall health. I have made so much progress in the past year than I ever have in my 28 years of living on this earth. With that being said, as a bodybuilder, a lot of people think of bodybuilders as like the epitome of health because they look good, right? And that actually could be far from the truth, because on social media we see these humans looking so aesthetically pleasing, so shredded. The women have great curves, and I mean, it depends on what division, right? You have bikini, wellness, women's physique, like whatever. But that could be far from the truth, especially in a bodybuilding prep. There is nothing healthy about a bodybuilding prep because you are losing so much fat that your body is literally like almost breaking down. So especially for women, we need to be very cognizant and aware of not only our hormonal health, like our cycles, but also our gut health and how our digestion is doing, because when our body goes into that fight or flight mode, our digestion shuts down or it alters and our body doesn't prioritize digestion. So before going into a prep, you need to make sure that you are healthy, that your hormones are in check, your thyroid's in check. That's why blood panels are so important. And a lot of bodybuilders neglect gut health because it actually takes a very long time to heal your gut. And not only that, but there's behavioral changes that you must change around your habits, your food habits, in order to have good gut health. It's a struggle for a lot of people, but when it comes to bodybuilders, you need to be on top of that. And it's almost like more of a requirement, because when you go into prep, you're actually gonna do more harm to your body coming out, and it's gonna put your off season. You're basically setting yourself up for a terrible off season. You really are, because your body's not gonna have the proper nutrients to build muscle. You're gonna take forever to get healthy, which means you're gonna push your next show out a lot longer. And you're just setting yourself up for a ripple effect of bad health until you have a negative view of bodybuilding, when that shouldn't be the case at all, when actually you should have prioritized your behavioral habits, your gut health from the start. That way when you go into a show, you can reverse out of it healthily. Your hormones don't get messed up, your gut health stays on check. That way you can go into a proper off season and then go into another prep, another show successfully and healthily. For me specifically, when I started with my coach, we did a stool sample and my results came back not good, let's just say that. I had a parasite. I had H. pylori pretty high, SIBO, gut dysbiosis. There were a lot of things wrong with my gut, and I believe that I've had this for a very long time because I just grown accustomed to it. And that's what happens to a lot of us, is that we have grown we grow accustomed to our disease so that it eventually becomes a normal part of our life. Think about chronic pain, or if you're born with a disease or something and it just seems like an everyday part of your life. That was the case with me. I've always had gut problems. Ever since I was a little girl, my stomach would hurt so bad after eating certain foods, after being so stressed, after like a volleyball game or something. Like I wouldn't poop, or I'd have really bad diarrhea. It was just so bad. But I've eventually grown accustomed to it. I eventually got used to it. Like, oh, haha, like that's just how I am, you know? Until I met my coach and took these lab results, and he was like, listen, like you need to do something. And I was like, wait, I don't have to live my life in pain. And he even said, like, it's gonna be hard getting out of it. You're gonna have to change your behavioral habits. And most of it came around stress management. Most of it came around me changing my perspective on the world and my relationship with food to eventually and slowly get to a better relationship with food and a better perception on the world, a more accurate and true perception on the world. As I was going through this, I was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. I was struggling really bad mentally. And this is one of those things, again, I've grown accustomed to. I've always had these symptoms. I remember I was talking to someone in my family and they were like, Sabrina, like you've never been like this. Like what's going on? In the back of my head, and I even told them, and I was like, I've always been like this. I just never vocalized it. I've shut it down. And now that I'm finally like healing my gut, like everything else is coming to light too. So my perception on the world, my mental habits, my thought patterns, my negative toxicity patterns, behavioral patterns that I have, like everything came up when I started to heal my gut. Everything. Because it's like I'm shining a light on things that were negative for me that I caused, and I've buried it down for so long because I thought it was normal, or I felt shamed of them, so I never wanted to vocalize it. I never wanted to accept it to myself, and it was very difficult. So whether you are a bodybuilder or just an everyday person who wants to be better at their behavioral habits, the number one thing I want to tell you is that it takes time and compassion. You are not going to heal overnight, and that's the harsh reality of it. You are going to have flare-ups. You are going to want to retreat back into your old habits. I still want to. Like it's never going to be gone for good. And the more aggressively that you treat it, the more quickly that you will see results. But if you are moving slow and steady, you will also see the most stable and most grounded results. So I recommend not to jump to different things. This is one thing that I used to do all the time, was that I would jump to a plan I saw on Instagram from an influencer, and then if it didn't work in a month, I'd scrap it and do another plan or something like that. Especially with books, like self-help books. I would read a self-help book, I would implement what that person said for 3 weeks, and then just totally forget about it basically. And then I would go on to the next self-help book. You know, this is a very common theme in the yoga world and self-help world and the therapy world, is that we jump from one thing to another without letting that work that we've learned simmer and marinate and really become a part of us. So that's the number one thing I really want to say, is that it all takes time. I've been with this coach for over a year. I started with him June 10th, 2024, and just stopped coaching with him 3 days ago. So July 20th or something like that, 2025. It's 2025 now, so. All of this took over a year, and as you guys have seen from my past video, I haven't gone through an official bulk push phase, and I've never gone through a cut yet or a prep. I've never stepped on stage yet, even though I've been bodybuilding for over a year. I've never bulked yet, even though I've been bodybuilding for over a year. This is all addressing behavioral patterns and gut health in order for when I do bulk and when I do prep, I will be relatively healthy in my prep, so that when I reverse, go into an off season, I'll have an even more successful off season, so that I could go into the next show and next prep. This is why I teach yoga. This is why I'm so passionate about yoga, is because I want to create a safe space so that everybody who I teach is able to see the darkness within themselves and say, I am stronger than that and I'm able to get over it. I want to provide a safe space so people are able to see the darkness within themselves and also see the light within themselves and realize which one is true. Yeah. Sounds harsh. I know a lot of people teach yoga I'm not here to toot my own horn, but I know so many yoga teachers want to teach yoga just to add more positivity into the world, you know, light and love. But it's like, you can't have positivity without darkness, or else it's false. Like, if you have positivity in the world without acknowledging your darkness, that positivity is untrue. That positivity is false, that positivity is fake. It is forced. It doesn't really feel good, right? It almost feels like when you're a kid and you're crying and someone gives you like a toy and really all you needed was a hug. I am learning that there's so many similarities between bodybuilding and yoga, and that's why I'm here. That's ultimately why I'm here for this YouTube, is to help you guys with both. So yoga is not just about physical postures, and bodybuilding is not just about stepping on stage. We all have something to learn. Even if you aren't a bodybuilder and if you're not a yogi, even though we kind of are both, we do have a body and we build it all the time. When we eat, when we sleep, when you go for a walk, when you run. And we're also all yogis because we have a life, we have a breath, we have beliefs, we love, we hate, emotions. So I like to use the two techniques, bodybuilding and yoga, to bring it into your daily life and make it more digestible, make it safe, to make it accessible to even if you aren't competing or if you aren't on your mat. Yeah, got a new coach. I'm so excited to work with this guy. He's really big on gut health. Most of his roster is wellness division women, which I'm so excited. He's turned multiple women pro. His wife is a wellness Olympian. So I am so excited to work with him. I get my plan either today or tomorrow from him. And I'm literally like checking my phone like every 5 minutes to see if he texted me. I'm so eager. I'm so excited to start. Obviously, I'll keep you guys updated. If you have any questions, I am here. Reach out to me. Yeah, thank you.